Season 1, episode 1.
I got the clicker.
Season 1, episode 1.
Yes.
Got it. S1E1.
1. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, S1E1.
Sorry,
that's
that's
like
the
S Club
Korean
7.
band. S:1. That's the Korean band. I was having mixed up with BTS. Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Stop talking
first of
about
all,
your
who
colons.
decided to make
Alright.
colon a thing and have it be a double
Rome,
meaning?
and you know what they say.
Anyway, we are hit and play.
Tell you what, I was clenching my colon during that. Jeez.
Really?
We are prone towards the empire of this world against the ways of God. Francesca!
I just like to repeat
like the
everything he
echo?
says.
You
That's
like
what
the echo?
I echo that echo. Yeah.
Lead to Rome.
You're like one person.
Makes me feel like
That's
I'm always the
right.
one who has to be in control.
I liked this part.
Jesus' first followers lived in a world ruled by Rome. Military, economics, culture, the arts, no matter...
Now, we all got to go to Rome, right? Like, all three of us were there.
Right.
And got to see all this stuff. It was pretty epic standing next to some of these buildings.
I mean, you could take a rock and throw it and hit something amazing.
Yeah. And the rock you threw might have been an artifact.
Right.
Probably.
It was probably a fossil. Or, you know, whatever.
It kind of makes me wonder what it would look like if you took a pressure washer to, like, that building. You see that? That was... Jeez.
People were probably mad if you did that, but...
Yeah. It would lose its
I
character.
cannot wait to see that soccer episode.
I'm really dreading that. I really am.
I'm
I made a goal.
gosh, that-
A lot of people said that it was
Hey, that's
fake.
me. Did you know that?
Nope.
CGI.
They were like, hey, can you be Russell Crowe? Yes, I can.
Yes, I can
Watch.
my name is
So,
Russell
do
Crowe.
Maybe.
people know that you guys were there filming for the adults, and
Right.
then we were there filming? I was filming for kids, and you were filming for students.
Yeah.
Which was pretty sweet.
We
So
were-
everybody is learning about the same exact thing, which was really cool.
26. But whoever would be great among you.
Hey, that's you, isn't it, buddy?
That's me.
Oh, that's your voice?
It's the one thing I get.
Yeah.
That's
Pow.
power.
So our theme for Kids Club was anything other than Jesus will let you down.
Okay.
What was
Same.
yours? Same.
Yeah.
I know that. I was there.
This place was real sweet when we went there. Did you guys go there?
Not here.
No.
The Aqueducts? Scooter Novice. I'm just now seeing that. That's funny.
Senior pastor and scooter
That's-
novice.
That's
Brian's
pretty
on.
good. So, that place was wild because what you don't see is like all those fields right there. That was a really nice park that was just sitting there in the center. Like people just hang out in this park. They were going running through it. Like you see that girl walking.
I see it.
People use that as like just a daily jog.
Here's the thing about Italy, like with people in the parks.
Yeah.
Did you see a lot of like business people sleeping
Oh
in
yeah.
the middle of the day?
Yeah.
Was that not strange to you?
It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't see. Well, you don't see that here.
No, you don't see like the guys from like the corporate office just taking a nap in the park.
No.
Italy totally did though.
How do the aqueducts work? Is it going from a high place to a low place?
I'm pretty
Like
sure.
a
Yeah,
water
I'm pretty
slide?
sure it was going from
Very
like.
gentle water slide.
It was kind of like
Ancient water slide.
the way I interpreted it was kind of like because she was saying that it was made of like old limestone, like it was like the world's first waterproof concrete. It was crazy.
Okay, now be honest. Did BT do his own hair, or did someone adjust it before? he
There
could teach?
were a couple times I observed his hair getting what is it?
Tussled?
Tussled.
if you will. Yes.
Wrangled.
Eric did that a couple times. I
Okay.
think Craig was doing it.
Craig was doing Brian's
No one was
hair.
on
Really?
Brian's hair
Yeah.
duty.
Craig, if you don't know who Craig is, we call him Windex because he normally walks in all the time and his hair is just like so greasy it looks like it was shot with Windex. Which is fun.
I wish
so
someone
that
had
guy
been
was-
on hair duty for me.
So he was doing
Did you see
BT's hair,
some
which
of
is
the-
hilarious.
Yeah, I
to
thought
me.
it was
so
crazy.
wonderful.
There are days, there are some shots where it's like hair is just covering my face.
You got like a
I don't know why
cyclops
I didn't notice it. It was in front of my eyes. But
It's like, why can't I see?
Francesca, she is a sweetheart, man.
Yeah.
She was so cool. She was just so knowledgeable about everything. She was telling me like her family. I think she had 2 or 3 kids with her husband. They have a house that's on the outskirts of Rome, and she's a teacher as well. So whenever she's teaching at a university, she'll come into town and she has a place in Rome that she stays as well. But said it was like it's really expensive to live there, like super
Now-
expensive.
Rome was like obviously like a major city. There's a bunch of suburbs and all that, shopping and all that.
Right.
Did you buy that shirt in Rome?
No,
Where'd you buy that shirt?
no, I was given that shirt
Okay,
before via Amazon,
got it.
and I have currently I have 3 in my closet.
Do you wear them?
I don't. I haven't worn it since then.
Not your style?
Actually, well, I actually really do like the shirt. It's just really big on me.
Oh, and you
Like-
dropped some weight?
I dropped a couple pounds, yeah.
Okay.
And so,
Living good.
but they, Patrick, under the collar, you can't see it because it's, you're filming. You want it to be clean, I guess, right? So, all of those shirts, they have a little hole underneath the collar, and the mic like wraps around to the back and down the back of the shirt.
Now we're about to get into the scooter scene here.
Oh
Where
yeah.
you guys ride the scooter.
So I show up. I was given like little to no context about what's going on in any of this. So we show up. This is Alberto.
This guy right here.
Yeah.
I rode on the
Alberto.
back of
That guy was out of
Alberto's.
control. I loved it.
He is so awesome.
I rode on the back of his motorcycle one night.
Yeah, I
It
rode.
was pretty sweet.
That was really fun.
It was pretty thrilling, I'm not gonna lie.
I'll tell you what, it's
I've
probably
always wanted
thrilling
to ride
riding
on the
with
back of a
him.
stranger's
Probably
motorcycle
not
in a
with
foreign
Brian.
country. I'm not kidding. That's been on my bucket list. He wasn't a total stranger,
Close enough.
Close enough?
Yeah,
Close
nearly a
enough for Jazz.
stranger.
See, look how comfy he is. The thing with Brian, what you don't know is like he gets on and he's really used to motorcycles, but what he didn't know, what he was trying to get used to is that the front is actually a brake. The front, what he's used to as a clutch, is a brake.
Oh, so
Or-
he was hitting the brake.
Right,
Gears.
yeah.
So that
There's
was
that
fun.
hug.
Now, how romantic was that moment for you guys?
I mean, we are closer than ever. I mean, basically, Giselle and Tom Brady is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
they are close.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys were doing this, did you notice all these little mini trucks that were running around the city?
Oh,
Literally
yeah.
looked like a
Little
tiny
fruit
version
trucks?
of a truck.
Yeah.
We kept seeing those, and we really wanted to drive one. So we went to one of the markets you guys had filmed in, and we
yeah.
negotiated with them.
You
Paid them a
negotiated?
few
No, you
euros.
didn't.
Yep. They let us borrow their mini truck. Well, the first mini truck died.
Yeah.
And then the second one worked, and we ended up racing this other guy in another mini truck down the street. Paco was in the bed of the truck.
Oh, here, we gotta pause. We
gotta
gotta
go
pause that.
back.
We're gonna go
This
back.
horse.
How do I go back? What do I do?
Here, let me see.
Yeah. Oh, did I do it? I don't know if I did
Three
it.
millennials try to work Apple TV. On our next episode.
On our next episode of How to Succeed in Today's World. Sorry, continue.
No, we just had to speed it up because I couldn't figure out how to get it out of first gear. So, well,
We thought we were
it
gonna
felt
break this
to
guy's
me,
mini
my
truck.
reaction in there is like, I look like a maniac, and I was having the time of my life, but we were really going about 6 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Right?
if that. Yeah,
8.
if 6. Maybe,
I mean,
5.5.
life is real thrilling when you're driving a Tonka toy. It's
That's
great.
right.
It's wonderful.
I loved it.
It's great.
It was me and this big Italian dude sandwiched.
Yeah.
That's
And a
amazing.
one-seater. It was great.
Yeah.
Little known fact about May, she's an expert negotiator in Italian.
Only in Italian.
Only in Italian.
Only in Italian.
I'm very charming in Italian.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just sweet. That's French.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yeah.
That's
All right, so you're about to get on the scooter. You guys are
Get
about
on
to take
scooter.
off downtown Rome.
Yep, we're taking off. We're going to find Gelato.
just like getting on a horse.
And he's been trying to figure out how to drive this thing.
And you're just feeling his pecs.
Right now, he is just everything I could dream of.
How many weird looks did you guys get with this?
Oh man, people were just like, we have no idea what these turds are doing in our city. But like that, oh my gosh, that was.
So you guys did this on purpose.
I mean, yeah,
Like
like
you slid
weaving
those buses,
weaving
like-
in and out of
Wow.
those.
Look at
That's like a thing.
Sun flare.
Man.
It was actually rather scary. But that bend that we're
Look at
in,
that horse.
that little.
Oh, man.
Aw.
What in the world? I can even watch it on mute. If he's laughing on mute, I'm still enjoying.
That
You
was
can hear
a
it
genuine
even without
laugh
the
right there.
sound.
That's
That was Dave, right?
Yep, he was the
He's
guy
a
that did.
beast.
He did most of the still shot like the still
He's
shot
so
camera work.
good.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, real question.
Yes.
How do we feel about that hat, Brian?
I mean, Steve Irwin would be proud.
He would be.
He would.
I bet you he didn't get sunburned.
I feel like
True.
BT's ready for a safari right now. Like,
He's got like a little mini machete like Crocodile Dundee.
I mean, good eye, mate. How are ya?
All roads lead to Rome.
Do
Just
they
happy
though?
to wait.
Do
It's
all roads
still,
lead to
it's
Rome?
still a rum.
A lot of roads lead to Rome.
Maybe when you're in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
not in America. I don't think that can happen.
He's found a loophole.
Yeah.
The
Appian Way. So that's like the interstate of Rome,
Yes.
right?
Like the first interstate, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What was fun is
A lot
like
of cool
actually
sunglasses.
behind, like all the way down the road when we were setting up, there was actually this like Renaissance festival going on.
No way.
Dude, it was hilarious, man. We showed up. We were trying to get some chicken legs and stuff. You know, it was so
It was
fun.
giant.
Yeah, man. I didn't know what to think about that. That was crazy.
It's kind of weird to be like in an ancient area and then have a Renaissance festival.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys dressed normal or like?
We're just hanging out, and these
Yeah,
people are
it's a
just
picnic.
like hanging out and dancing and doing what you do. I don't know.
Distance between the rails on the railroad, which is what dictated Henry Ford's Model T, which is what dictated other forms of...
So he
It's
said
going
Henry
from,
Ford,
like,
hold on, wait a
one-
second.
yeah.
He says Henry Ford's Model T, and you shake your head no. Let's just watch that one more time.
Me,
Replay.
da-na-na,
So
da-na-na.
he's talking about the size of the roads.
fascinating that you can still see the ruts. These chariot
He's
ruts
looking.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, ruts, I got
Austin,
that.
Austin's
Okay,
thinking,
great,
uh-huh.
wonderful. Looks like, yep,
Looks like a road to me.
it's like a road. I see stones.
This tracks.
I've thrown that in a lake before.
Here you go.
How great.
is what dictated the width of the American stagecoach.
At this point, I am just
Here it
in
goes.
awe of his intellect.
Here he goes.
Okay, taking it in.
Which is what
No.
Ah, no.
No, it didn't.
No,
No, it didn't, Brian.
Shut your mouth.
No, I think
Stick
it
to
did.
the scriptures, man. Come on. Just kidding.
We came up with a handshake.
We did. It's a secret handshake.
Is it secret?
Yeah, so we can't show you. It's a secret handshake.
We do it a lot in front of other people, though.
Yeah,
so-
but like this is on video, so like they can practice it. You know?
Oh, okay.
Well, can you like?
You ever heard of yes and?
Yes, and yes.
Let's go.
And-
Let's go.
Okay, wait. It goes like this.
Roman didn't put in this
Wait,
road.
how does it go?
Oh,
It
we
goes
have to
like
work
this.
on it.
No, I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
okay. I think Brian's trying to do it. Right. Okay.
It's a high five.
It's a high five.
It's a gelato scoop.
Gelato scoop.
Ooh. It's the Roman walls, and that's funny, Brian. And I don't really know where that came from.
I guess
but
we kept adding
it
to
just
it.
added.
We should add to it now.
Oh.
Ever heard of yes and? That should be at the end. That's funny, Brian. Ever heard of yes and? Let's try it.
Okay.
Bam.
That's funny, Brian. Ever heard of yes and?
Oh, I like it.
Make a good team, man. Make a good team.
Yep, we do. And
So happy I'm here. It's great. It's wonderful.
Paco, was it hard to keep the facial hair consistent while we were over there?
Yeah, it's just hard to keep facial hair consistent in general in my
I
life
know.
right now because it's like just does whatever it wants.
Oh.
So every day, what I would do, regardless of what was going on, I would just trim it. So like I just put the guide on and just trim it. So, but technically, then it would have never grown at all. But I did that anyway.
You are sort of a hat connoisseur.
Hmm.
How did you decide what hat you were going to take?
It's a great
You
question.
could only use one.
Yeah, so we had to wear the same thing every day.
Every day.
Continuity.
Yeah.
So continuity was important because we were filming out of order and all that. And so I just said, okay, what's the plainest hat I could find?
And
It was.
what was it?
It was a gray hat.
A gray hat, like
Yeah.
just a normal hat.
It's a regular old gray hat. Yeah.
I'd like to tell a story about something that happened.
I'd love to hear it.
I wonder if this is
You
what
can keep that
happens
going. He's
during
just
when
talking.
Brian's
He's
actually
just talking.
speaking all the
He's
time.
just talking.
People are actually turn around and be like, "Can I tell you a story?" He can hold. I can go back to YouTube and
No,
watch
just hit
this
play.
later.
We'll let it
It's
be
fun.
background noise. But you had part of your ensemble was a green jacket,
Yes.
and it was hot
Yeah.
in Rome, and you, like any normal human man, you perspire.
Yeah.
I also do.
Yeah. Like
Hey,
every
let's-
normal human man and woman use yeah.
Any human being,
Yeah.
even dogs. I don't know. Do dogs sweat?
I think so.
Anyway, you were sweaty, And
Pit sweats, man.
Yeah, it was real.
you kept
Pity.
joking about returning that jacket.
I did.
Did you return the jacket?
I attempted to. My wife said no. She
Oh,
would not
no.
allow me to return the jacket. Here's the thing. I bought it as an investment for a ministry opportunity, right? And I was like, well, look, I can use this. I can dry clean it, and I can give it back, and someone else can be blessed by this green jacket for $24.99 or whatever.
I'm so.
And my wife would not allow me to do such a thing.
That's a character issue.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, on her end, right?
One of my-
Like she denied someone blessings.
I'm so glad you listened to her. She was there.
Yeah.
Leslie was a
Leslie,
producer.
one of my favorite things that happened on this trip was actually
He's still
back
going on
a little
about
bit.
the
And
Appian Way.
that's fine.
He's still
Appian
walking down
Way.
this road. It's a long
We got a
road.
ways to go on the Appian Way. One of my favorite things that happened before we got on the scooters was I saw you
Oh, that's right.
in that little
Parking
area,
lot deal?
parking lot, yeah. And I went over and we were just chatting it up.
that's right.
And it was with the deal that we made with an Italian, with the government
Yeah.
and the Italian film company. Can we
Yes,
talk about
and
that?
it's illegal.
Yes, and.
Yeah,
So
we weren't allowed to talk to
we
each
weren't
other.
allowed to talk to each other because we were separate entities.
We're separate
groups.
film crews.
Yeah,
Right.
separate groups, yeah.
And so I'm talking to you, and May's over by Leslie, and Leslie comes over and she goes, "He can't talk to you right now." And she just took him away, and I was like, "All right."
We were like, bye,
Love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Yeah, it was really,
It's true.
really a good moment for us.
That's
That was
sweet. Let's
fun.
check in here. He's got his phone
He's got
out.
his phone out on the Appian Way.
Oh, you
Gotta
know, he talked about.
Gotta relate to millennials.
Yeah,
How
he talked
fun.
about some
Hey, look, I
timeless
like
stuff.
memes.
One time, one of my roommates said, "I saw the funniest meme,"
Oh no.
and I had to teach her.
Mimi.
It's
no.
meme.
You know, I used to call emojis M-joys. I really did.
So
for
wait,
real.
Wait, tell me that story.
Well, so it was about the time that they came to be, and I'd never seen it spelled out. I just heard somebody say emoji or something, and in my mind, I just kept it as M-joy. So I enjoyed using them, and it was great, but
Did you say I enjoyed using
I
them?
enjoyed using
yeah.
them, right? To me, it makes more sense. Why emoji?
Is it GIF or GIF? What do you say?
I say GIF.
Jif.
Is it
Oh,
GIF.
no.
Jif.
GIF? GIF. Tomato.
I don't
tomato.
say. I say moving picture.
Well, then, who are you to say if it's not Mimi? Maybe it is Mimi, not me.
I guess we'll never know.
Labor, or even slave labor. We have issues in your life and in my life.
So,
because
as much as this was like fun to film,
Yeah.
was there anything weird happening, like offset, like any crisis moments or anything like that going on?
Nothing crazy.
So what's that lady doing back there? Where is she headed?
I don't know that lady. I will tell you, there in an upcoming episode, there was this. There's a shot where I was getting ready to go up and play out on this hill outside of the Coliseum, and at the bottom of it there was this concrete wall, and I got my guitar and I set it up, and there's a guy, one of the film guys that was with us, Tyler Roberts, right? He's like right where you are, and so I'm like getting it out, I'm like cleaning off the strings a little bit, and I just hear, "Hello," and I was like, Tyler? And I like push him to the side, and I look over, there's this lady, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Bulgaria!" And I was like, "All right," and I closed up, and I just darted up.
You left Tyler standing
Tyler in the
there.
Tell us about so when you were filming places,
Yeah.
some people thought you were part of a movie crew, or
Yes.
they wanted to know what you were doing.
Well, here's the deal. Because we probably had, 3 or 4 cameras
Yeah.
at all times around.
It wasn't a
And-
small group.
It wasn't a small crew, no. And we had a couple of vans we were riding in everywhere we were going. So we'd get out, and I'd get my guitar out and go to set up. And people would just stop, and they didn't even know who I was. Some of them would just come up on my guitar case and try to read my airline ticket that was on my handle. Or, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
the baggage claim thing?
Yeah.
And there were just people stopping, just pulling out their phones and just Insta-storying and Snapchatting. And so we would be like, whenever people would be like, "What is this for? What's going on?" Be like, Honcho 4. Honcho rides again.
You made up a movie title.
Yep, we totally
Maybe
did.
People
that's
believe
the title
it,
of the
right?
whole
People
series.
totally
This is the
believe it.
4th installment of said series.
Yeah.
right?
It's true.
I think Honcho is probably like a police officer who wants to do good but needs to do it outside of the rules.
Yeah, and then the 5th episode, or the 5th installment, he gets a dog. That
Yep.
kinda like
Oh, yeah.
Airbud.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's like an Airbud.
We filmed here.
Archie Titus.
Yeah, Archie Titus.
I think it was
performed.
huge,
Yeah,
man.
that's pretty sweet.
Of the temple, and we can see carved on the Arch of Titus
So
the
a lot
wild
of this was like excavated, right?
in the temple.
Isn't that what we learned? A lot of this was just slowly
All of that stuff. It's kind of crazy.
Over time.
dug up, basically.
Some of it was preserved too.
Yeah.
For the Emperor Titus is meant to say, this is the cause.
It's amazing to me that you could just walk around, like that's the Roman Forum where they are,
Yeah.
and you could just walk around. You could honestly,
just go.
you could walk on ruins.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
weren't all roped off somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's pillars sitting on the ground, and you can
Like
sit
that.
on them on
Yeah.
a bench.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The forum
Like-
was real cool.
Yeah.
And everything there was older than anything here.
Yeah.
You know?
What blows my mind is
Oh, go back. Go back. You'll appreciate this.
We'll get back to
Right.
what your mind was blown by.
Get ready to pause.
I got you.
Wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming. Pause. Happy Rusev Day t-shirt. You see
Oh,
that?
look at WWE's
Dude, wrestling
long-reaching
WWE
arm.
right there, dude.
What?
Look at that.
That's hilarious.
Paco and I are wrestling fans.
Yes, big wrestling fans.
Guilty pleasure.
Here's the other thing that was
Also without the guilty.
that was
It's just
it's
pleasure
blowing my
fans.
mind here.
We like it.
Is that he's just standing in the middle of the ruins and no one cares.
They're just like,
They're just like, yeah,
I don't
cool.
even know what he's saying, but I like the tone of his
Yeah,
voice.
I like where he's going with this.
Fine.
I like his boots, so let him talk.
Nice boots.
Why were all the statues headless? We talked about this while we were there.
Yeah.
Did
Ugly, man.
You had a theory.
I had a theory that, here's my theory. I'm not saying this actually happened historically, but
Right.
if I was taking over an empire that ruled the world,
Right.
I'd cut the heads off of all the statues too. So that they,
Sure.
savagery, but
Well, but
That
why
got
just the
intense.
heads? Why wouldn't you just take the whole thing down?
Show of power, man.
yeah,
Just show like, hey, I can behead a statue,
yeah,
so I can behead a human.
maybe. Or maybe they're like, I don't like the way this
That's mean.
Roman's eyeballing me. So they,
Sheesh. What do you think this is? The Patriot? Jeez. Gosh. Who do you think
also,
you are, David?
look at all the stuff that happened in post-production. You guys filmed and everything, but all this stuff was done by someone else. It looks
yeah,
really
these
good.
are all made after it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of times, like all of that stuff. I think that was taken after the fact, like after the primary shoot. And Tyler Roberts and who was the guy who was with Noah?
We had Noah, yeah.
Noah was out with you guys,
was
getting
great.
that BTS, that B-roll. That's what makes it look fun.
B-roll.
Looks a
The
lot
things
fun.
that are on camera that are showing you the environment.
This is C-roll. That's what this is.
This is like
This is
C-list.
like, okay, I don't
Yeah,
need it, but I'm
elemental.
gonna listen to it, I guess.
This is a sushi roll.
That's fine.
yeah, sushi roll.
Hey,
Jelly roll? I don't know. What's
Jelly
the best
roll?
punchline there?
Krispy
I like sushi
Kreme.
roll.
I'm on a Krispy Kreme diet. I love it.
From 12 to 8.
Oh, 12 to 8. That's right. Intermittent fasting. Gotta keep it fresh.
Now back to Austin.
Oh, wow.
That
That
was
face.
intense.
Without getting run over by a bus.
I just like to picture I'm in Blade Runner. That's what it is.
What's just going on in your mind?
How many times did you guys do that? How many times did you go,
As many times as Brian wanted to, because he just liked that.
You're just into it.
I like to think that we were definitely Dumb and Dumber, for sure. We could definitely do the third movie.
As
You
bad as
think?
the
I'm
second
not
one
saying
was,
anything
yeah.
about
As bad as the second one was, that's right.
it. There's one moment coming up here where...
Right here. Oh,
Oh,
that,
boy.
I was genuinely scared
Oh, that
right
was-
there.
oof.
I was like, I don't know how I feel.
Now, where did you get gelato at a place called Nev de Latte? Is that where you went?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
great. Well, we went to a place called Nev de Latte, and they let us make gelato.
Yeah. It's
It
pretty
was
sweet.
awesome.
I'll tell you
Actually,
what.
it was sorbet.
Chocolate
Sorbet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good though.
Sorby.
What flavor
Do the
did you get?
Romans? What did I
Do you
get?
guys wear your helmets around the rest of this episode? Yes, you do.
We do. Well, because we're like literally, we're getting gelato.
There's somebody in Rome right now that told this story. The other day I was walking on the street, and these two weirdos in helmets are feeding each other gelato. What is going on in America?
Man, here's the thing. We're just hanging. We're just two dudes feeding each other gelato.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
I got a
wrong
wife
with
and kids at home. I'm fine. I'm
if
totally
you- even if you
confident in
didn't.
who I am.
that. Even if you didn't. Totally
That
fine.
Oh, the
that
beef
was
shop. You guys went to the beef
amazing.
shop. It was
Yeah.
cool.
We went in. We got a bunch of food. You'll see this later on. I think it's probably the next episode.
Is it?
Episode 2 is when we do the dinner. When we
Is
pick
it?
up-
Yeah.
I think so.
We did
Yeah.
film a dinner where you guys made the whole meal.
Made
for
the
us
meal,
and all that.
yeah.
Really good.
And,
So tell me about what's going on with this scene here. Like, what were
I-
you guys hoping to like capture here?
So here's this
you were
was
looking at that beer lovingly.
what's that?
You were looking at that beer lovingly.
That's an Italian beer. The Italian beer is not wonderful. I'll tell you
I
that.
got the wine thing down.
They got wine down. Well, pause it for a second. Here's the deal. True story. Speaking of, alcoholic beverages, we went to this pizza place and I got a bourbon bacon pizza. Well, it came out and I gave them like 10 out of 10 for presentation because it was on fire. Like they lit
No
lit
way,
the pizza.
really?
Came out on fire and I was like, this is about to be amazing.
Wow.
I took a bite and they basically put house scotch on it.
What?
And I about threw up. And I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyways. There was a cat right outside the window. We were sitting on like a window side. They were open. And I just gave that pizza to the cat. I just kept feeding it. I'm pretty sure that cat got wasted. Totally wasted.
Wow.
So we
Crazy.
went to a crew dinner, right? A bunch of us went to a pizza place.
We went, yep.
One of our guys orders pizza, and he orders it with French fries. Well, the pizza comes out. There's fries on top of the pizza.
Big old pile.
They didn't get that.
Didn't get the
translation.
memo, dude.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looked delicious. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, who wouldn't want fries on pizza?
Put fries on anything.
I can do it. So, I had no context for where this conversation was going to go. I had no idea really what was going to happen until I showed up. And really, what we're doing is that we're kind of recapping, but though they were filmed on different days, I'm kind of having to backtrack a little bit some days and figure out like, oh yeah, what were we talking about? We're talking about power. We're talking about this, and it was a really cool conversation because I didn't expect to be leaning into vulnerability. This was the first discussion we ever had. I didn't expect to lean right into that so quickly, and I was actually debriefing that with my wife. Oh yeah, it's that president thing.
Wait, what?
The president text message, right?
Is the president messaging
Look,
happening?
presidential
Yeah.
alert.
you
Dude, is this
serious?
on camera? This is
Oh.
amazing.
All right.
We gotta
That's
pause
the
it.
National Emergency
Hey,
Alert
this is
System.
going on for a minute, apparently.
How do we...
FEMA, they got us good.
Also, I made a match on my online dating.
Oh, look at God!
Hey,
Look at God!
swipe right. Oh yeah.
2 birds, 1 stone.
2 roads to Virgin,
I'm
a
sort
yellow
of kidding,
wood.
but it really
Sorry, I cannot travel both. Well, I could quote from.
So where does the text come from? Like, where does it...
the president.
This is
But,
a
like,
test
how
of the
does it get
National
here?
Wireless
Through your phone.
Emergency Alert System.
I don't
There it is. I think I got it. No, that's an email. Damn.
Oh.
It should look
Sorry,
like
buddy.
that. It's like an
Yeah,
Amber
I got
Alert.
it, but then I deleted it because it was buzzing.
Yep. That happened.
Oh, let's press play.
Well, amazing. What were we talking about? Oh, we're talking about this.
Power.
Vulnerability. That's right.
Hey, give me that clicker.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Sorry.
He's checking his email.
Focus
Oh.
and vulnerability. Here we are. And scene.
He is not giving up the clicker.
Nope, it didn't go. There it is. There it is.
And then people get in love.
So you're being vulnerable here about things that you didn't expect to be vulnerable about.
Well, yeah. I mean, like BT. I was kind of talking with him. We were kind of discussing how it was. It was hard for me to kind of. I was expecting my own scooter, and for me to have to like relinquish my control to him, and saying like, "Hey, we're in a totally different country, and Vespas are kind of like." Jeeps in a forest where you just kind of do what you want, you know what I mean? Like, and so for me to have to relinquish that to him, but then also going on a little bit, we start talking about me being a dad and like him having the weight and the responsibility of that. We got into a weird, not weird, but like I didn't expect for it to go into discipline.
The spanking thing?
The spanking thing. Like that was like totally it. I had not thought about disciplining my daughter. She's getting into toddler mode, so I can totally think about it now. But you know, like, but
Thinking real hard about discipline.
This was filmed. This was filmed 7 months ago, and a lot's changed since then. Like she's changed a lot. I have not thought about what disciplining my own kids is gonna be like. You know, like how to respond. Like that was that was not scripted or anything. Like I just there were no rails for that discussion. You know, and I got a little bit emotional about it because I was just kind of like, man, like for me to discipline my kid. Yeah, I don't know, it caused a great discussion between my wife and I about like what are we gonna do like in the future? Like how do we want to handle things? You know, and so I'm really happy that happened, and I'm glad I'm getting to see it fresh again because it's kind of like, man, that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing. If you're a parent, like I remember being a kid, my dad. There were definitely a couple times where he, like sat me down and was like, "Hey, this is why I have to do this. Like, do you know that?" And I never realized the value of that until like now in the period, you know, like having to get into the place of being like, well, I have to explain to my kids in the future, like, hey, you messed up. And there has to be actions to your consequences.
Yeah.
I think we lost our internet connection.
Did we lose it?
So presidential
text
alert. Message messed up our internet.
What was one of the most impactful things for you with this week, talking about power?
This week with power, I think it's super timely, you know, in our world today that we have this discussion about power. Because every time I've gotten power, I never thought it was gonna go away. I thought of like this would be the way it is all the time. And then the second part of that is like when I've gotten power and used it to help people and to guide people and to bring people up, it's always been a good thing. Every time in my life where I've gotten power and it's been to raise my own self up, it never ended well.
Yeah.
And so that stuck out with kind of what he was saying about like the whole idea of like the Romans had a lot of power and we have power too. Me in my life, I have power. I have control over things. I have opportunities to use that power in a good way or in a bad way.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
I want to hear from you.
Well, after the fact, I ended up having dinner at my sister's house, and she's got 6-year-old and a 9-year-old. And we were talking about it, and I was just curious what they would remember from it, because the Kids Club episode is 12 minutes or something, and there's a lot of stuff. And the first thing they talked about was the mini truck. But then they totally were able to say, oh, you talked about how if you put your trust in anything other than God, it'll crumble. And you were around all these buildings that were old and had crumbled. I was like, that's a win.
Yeah.
You got that.
So, yeah, for me, that was a really tangible, being in the forum around all those ruins was a really tangible reminder that everything else crumbles and God is steadfast.
Yeah.
He never changes.
Yeah, totally. That's a really good point, too, of like looking at the ruins just around you, like things are temporary. Like this, like the skin and bones we have on us it's rental, you know, like it is, like, and just like a Vespa, and it just really, like, for me, it gives me confidence in day-to-day decisions, moment by moment decisions, and also like, hey, like knowing that this is temporary, like I have the power to yield whatever influence I might have for good and for God purposes, not my purposes. You know?
Strong.
So,
well, good. Well, thank you guys for taking the time and watching.
dude,
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week as we check out episode number 2 with the BTS crew.
BTS
Empire's commentary. Thanks for watching. Scoop. Scoop.
Nope.
And you said flambe.
I thought you said Harambe.
Harambe.
All right.
It's too soon.
Gosh.
Too soon.
Too
Too
soon.
soon.